Good morning, boys and girls. Well, it is Thanksgiving right here on us, just a few days away. And wow, are you ready for turkey? Most people are. Anyway, we have so many things to be thankful for. And when we think of Thanksgiving, we think of things to say thank you. Thank you for all the things that we have. And if you stop to think, what are some things that you are thankful for? Are you thankful if you slept in a warm bed last night? Because there are some people who don't have that. Were you thankful when you had breakfast this morning, a good hot breakfast? Because there are some people who don't have that. You have a roof over your head. You have a nice warm house to stay in. Some people don't have that. So, you have a lot to be thankful for. But, we should be thankful not just at Thanksgiving, but we should be thankful all year long for all the many things that we have. And, you know, Thanksgiving came about because of the pilgrims coming over here from a far off country. And they came to a land that they knew nothing about, to a land that had nothing. And they came in fierce weather. They boarded a ship with all their possessions, only what they had and what they could bring with them. And they sailed across the sea, and they hit rough seas, terrible seas. And then when they finally ended up in America, it was winter, cold, cold winter. And they didn't have a house to go to. They didn't have a Walmart to go to. They had nothing. There were no houses that they could go into, no cabins. There was nothing. Just imagine how they felt. Or can you even imagine how they felt when they got off that ship after they had been on the ship for many, many months? And some of them got so sick. And they got here, and it was cold, winter, probably even snowing. And they got off, and they looked across the land at all the trees and everything. And they had to start completely over. They had to build their cabins. They had to build a place for shelter. They had to hunt for their food because they didn't have a grocery store to go get what they needed. Boy, that really took courage. Courage for them to leave their homes and come for hopefully a new, better life to a strange land that they knew nothing about. They didn't know what was over here. They didn't have food already waiting for them, and they didn't have ways of cooking. They had to build fires and things. Wow, how lucky we are. How lucky we are that we have a place to stay. So when you think of the pilgrims and think of the hardships, be thankful for the people that came over here and started America and started this great place that we live, because it is really a good place, a wonderful place to live. So we have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving and every Thanksgiving. And every day of our lives, we have so many things to be grateful for. So during this time of Thanksgiving, stop and think about all the wonderful things that you have. Loving family, a place to live, a warm house, especially tonight when it's going to be a little bit cooler, and a warm bed and warm food to put in your stomachs, because some people don't even have that, and clothes to wear. Wow, we are so grateful and so thankful for what we do have. Well, I have a book today by Julie Marks, and it says, Thanks for Thanksgiving. Thanks for Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving helps to remind us what we are grateful for and all the things that we are grateful for. Okay? And then we're going to do a craft after we read the book, and it's a very simple craft. You're going to need a paper plate and some construction paper and some glue. Okay? All right, let's get started with our book today. Thanks for Thanksgiving, for turkey and pie. What's your favorite pie? Like pumpkin or pecan, or what do you think your favorite pie is? Chocolate? Yum, yum. I like any kind of pie. Thank you for fall and gold leaves floating by. I don't know about you, but I see a lot of gold leaves out there on the ground that I'll go walking through every day. Thank you for school. I love to feel smart. Boy, we are so lucky because we can go to school. We can go to school and learn to be smart. So school is a good thing to be thankful for, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you for music and dancing and art. Do you like to dance? Do you like to listen to music? Do you like art? Those are things that you can be thankful for, especially if you're talented and can do those things. You might be able to sing, you might be able to dance, and you might be able to draw good pictures. Okay? So that's a lot to be thankful for. Thank you for play dates, for swings and for slides. Yeah, that's a lot of fun to get out there and swing on a swing. You do that at recess, or maybe you have one at home that you can do. But we're so lucky we have the freedom that we can go out there and do that. Thank you for hopscotch and piggyback rides. Isn't it fun to get together with friends and have play dates? Thanks for sweet puppies and soft furry cats. I'm sure they're grateful for you and you're grateful for them, aren't you? Thank you for dress up red shoes and big hats. How many of you like to play dress up? Get in your mom or daddy's shoes and flop around in them and put on beads and pretty long dresses. That's a lot of fun. Thanks for umbrellas for rain boots and puddles. How many of you like to splash around in puddles? That can be fun too, can't it? But make sure you have rubber boots on so your feet don't get wet. Thank you for mommy and warm, cozy cuddles. Yeah, it's so much fun when you've had a bad day to crawl up in mama's lap and let her give you a big hug. Thank you for daddy and rides on a sled. Now, we don't really have sleds right around here because we don't have snow, but I bet there's other things that you and your daddy do together. Maybe like you play ball, or maybe some of you might go hunting with your daddy or something like that. So just spending time with your mom and dad, that's a lot of fun to do. Just being grateful and thank you for that you have parents that you can do things with. Thank you for kisses and tucks into bed. Wow, when it's time to go to bed and mom or daddy tucks you in that bed, oh, that gives you a warm feeling, knowing that you're loved. That's a lot to be thankful for. Thanks for the moon and the stars up above. Wow, some nights do you ever look up at the moon? And sometimes it's a little slither, and sometimes it's big orange moon. And oh, how beautiful it is. And this morning when I was out walking, I noticed the many stars in the sky. And that was so beautiful. Being grateful and thanking for even the small things like the moon at night and the stars in the sky. And it's fun to look up in the stars and see the patterns and see if you can find the Big Dipper and all the other things that you might find in the sky at night. But most of all, thanks for the family I love. That's right. You know, Thanksgiving is a time that we get together with our family, ones that we love. Of course, it's kind of a different time right now with the virus going around, and some families may not be getting together for safety reasons, but that's okay. You're still loved, whether they come or not. Just knowing that they have warm thoughts. And for all of you that will be joining your family, give them all a big hug and tell them how much you love them and tell them that you're so glad they're a part of your family because that's important, saying, I love you. And thanks for being here. Thanks for taking care of me. Thank you for everything you do. That's part of Thanksgiving and being thankful for everything. How lucky we are. Okay, I hope that each of you do have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Whether you eat turkey or whether you eat pumpkin pie or whatever, do enjoy your time together with your family. Now, are we ready to make something that you can hang on your door to welcome your family when they come in the door Thanksgiving Day? Well, we are going to make a turkey today. Now, what I've done is just taken one of those cheap paper plates and I've cut the center out. I went ahead and did it ahead of time. So that's something you want to do. Well, all you've got is the outside ring of the paper plate. Now, I punched a hole up in the top so that I can run a string through it so I can hang it on my door or a bedroom knob or somewhere just to welcome everybody, okay? So what we're going to do is then I took some brown construction paper and I just kind of made an oval shape, kind of like this, and that's going to be the turkey's head, okay? So you can take some brown construction paper and mama or somebody can help you and just kind of make a big, kind of almost looks like a big old thumb, okay? But a lot fatter, like a fat thumb, okay? So you're going to take it and you're going to cut that out. Now, I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to glue the bottom. If I can get the glue to come out, there we go. I'm going to take and I'm just going to glue the very bottom of it. Okay, now where my hole is, right up there, I'm going to put this on the paper plate right below where I punched my hole. Of course, you can always punch a hole later. So there, now I've got the starting of my head. Now, I'm going to take, you know how like the googly eyes? Now you can either draw some eyes on your turkey, or if you have some of these googly eyes, I think it kind of makes the turkey look funny. So I'm going to take two of my googly eyes, they're about the same size, and I am going to attempt to, I'm just going to put some glue up there where his eyes will go, and I am going to put my googly eyes on my turkey. Okay. So now I've made my put my googly eyes. Like I said, you can draw your eyes up there if you want to, if you don't have the googly eyes. Now I went ahead and I made him a beak. And this red thing right here, which all I did was just kind of cut, looks like almost a flower petal type shape, but it can be any shape you want it to be. This is called his wattle. Now, if you've ever seen on a turkey, he has this what looks like a red beard that kind of hangs down like this, and it kind of waddles around, kind of does this. Now, it's funny to ever watch those things because I had one time at my school barn, and when I watched that thing, he'd be strutting around, and that water would get long, and then it'd come back up, and then it'd be long, and it'd come back up, kind of almost like a yo-yo. And it was funny to watch that thing. But anyway, so I attached my wattle to his beak because it kind of hangs right under his beak, okay? So I'm going to take and I'm going to glue. Now you want the pointy part to go down because that's his mouth, okay? So I am going to glue that right under his eyes. So now we have made his face. So the next thing we're going to do is I took some, and you can use any color you want his feathers to be. So I'm using kind of fall colors. I've got some yellows that I just cut some strips, and I've got some orange, and I got some brown, but you can throw any color in there you want to. All right, now you can give him a curly type thing, and you can take it and roll this up if you want to and kind of give it a curly look to it, okay? And we're just going to take this and we are just going to start gluing some different color feathers on it. Now you can put as many, if you want just to put a few on here, you can, whatever you got time to do. And you can just put some feathers on him. And they can go any direction you want because it's your turkey. You can make your turkey look any way you want him to look. Take and roll these up a little bit. And I'm going to put some glue on it. Okay. Want to make all one color? It's up to you. Whatever you want to do because it's your turkey. Taking these. Whoop. All right. Now, what are you planning on doing for Thanksgiving? Are you going to play after Thanksgiving? What are some things that you might do after Thanksgiving, after you eat that big old meal, turkey and dressing, and then go in and take a nap, or do you play with your cousins? I remember Thanksgiving, my cousins would always come to Tennessee. I hadn't seen them all year. They drive all night to get there just for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, it was so much fun. The next day, we'd play all kinds of games out in my grandmother's backyard, and they'd stay for several days, and that was always so much fun to get together with my cousins that I hadn't seen all year, and we'd play all kinds of fun games and race around under the pecan trees and play games such as Ain't No Boogers Out Tonight, because Papa killed them all last night. Have you ever heard that, Miss Rebecca? That was a game that we would play, usually about dark time. We'd have bases, and the booger would be out there to get us. And if we ran to the base, then he couldn't get us. But we'd be out there singing. So we'd have a lot of fun. So, you can make a lot of wonderful memories with your family when they come at Thanksgiving. All right, so I kind of made my turkey, and now I'm going to take just some string or some yarn or whatever you might have, and I am going to take that we can hang them up somewhere. All right, and we got a string. Look at there. Isn't that a neat turkey? You can take this and hang it on your front door or in the kitchen or on your bedroom to welcome everybody for Thanksgiving Day. Okay? I'm so glad that you could join us today. And I hope that you've had a good time, because I know I've had a good time being with you today. And I wish every one of you a happy, safe, and wonderful Thanksgiving. All right, see you next week.